What's up, everybody? This is Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions and Studio One Tutorials.com, and today we're going back into our producer series and handling Melody Part 2. What's up, everybody? This is Concrete Zebra with Craftmaster Productions and Studio One Tutorials.com. Today we're back in our producer series. This is part 2 of Melodies. We're just going to go over how easy it is to make melodies in Studio One. I think that a lot of times people have problems with melody because they don't understand what a melody really is and the anatomy of it. And the thing about a melody, the way I like to think about it to make it super simplified, because I know some of you little assholes hate when I talk, but I'm gonna talk right now. So that red bottom on the bottom of your YouTube video, if you click and hold that, since this is a tutorial, and you drag to the right, it allows you to scrub past the parts where I talk, and you could just listen to the parts where I'm making sound. For everybody else who wants to learn something, my deal when I started getting into music was I have a friend who's an actual music teacher, and he can play any instrument he picks up. He's like super talented, and he always wanted to get into beat making with me. He always wanted to like make beats and stuff because I rapped and shit like that, and he had a hard time understanding the computer aspect. I had a hard time understanding the music aspect. And what I was able to do was kind of just reverse engineer his whole vibes. And, through conversations with him talking about melodies, a musician thinks about it in terms of, you just play, you just play with your emotions and what's inside. And that's the kind of answers I would get from him. And then I found out what a scale was. And then I realized, for my way of thinking and looking at piano rolls, all the melody is it's a bunch of notes, a given set of notes, programmed in a rhythm that change pitch over time. Okay, so I'm gonna say it again. A melody is a collection of notes played in a rhythm that change pitch over time. So a practical example of this is a melody. I'll go ahead and let's switch this to eighth notes. I'll go ahead and just draw this out. Remember, if you press D, it'll duplicate whatever you have highlighted. So there's a collection of notes. Okay, but is that a melody? No, because what are we missing? We're missing it changing pitch over time, meaning, the notes change. Now, changing pitch. You have two options. Okay, make it simple. Keep it simple, people. Keep it simple. All right, you have two options. You can go up or you can go down. So you engage your scale. We're making hip-hop beats, so we're going to go with the natural minor. We're going to keep it simple. So if I want to make a melody, I'm going to start with 1 bar. Okay, and I'll just go, what do I want my rhythm to be? And I'll listen to this. So maybe I want my rhythm to sound like this, and then I'll take this one out and see what this sounds like. Okay, so I like the way that rhythm sounds. All right, boom, I've selected the rhythm. Now I'm gonna get into part 2, changing pitch over time. So just think, do you want your melody to go up or down? And the more that you experiment with this, you're going to connect that thought with your head to where you're going to think, I want the melody to go up, and you're going to hear a tone in your head. This is what's going to happen when you start doing this enough. Okay, think about it. You're going to be a producer your whole life, right? You're watching YouTube videos because you want to do this shit. So if I tell you that in a year that you're going to be able to start to hear this stuff, that shouldn't intimidate you. It shouldn't frustrate you, because you're going to be doing this for 20, 30 years. So I'll go ahead and I want the melody to go up, and I'll just listen to it. And I'll say, you know what? It didn't go up high enough. So let me, I want to go up a little higher. Okay, I like the way that sounds. And then the next note, I want it to go lower than what I'm hearing. And then I'll be like, nah, I want it to go a little bit lower. And then I'll say, okay, then I want it to come back up, but I want it to get there gradually. So I'll go down to the note that it's at, and then go up a little bit more. And then I'll say that I want this to go down again. And then I'll copy and paste this, because melodies, good melodies, are repetitive. So that's why when I do them, a lot of the times I'll just do them bar by bar. And then I'll make a slight change on the second bar. So we'll take this and then go up like this. And then, you know, because we started in C, you know, we could go ahead and then drop a bass note underneath it while we're using the piano, right? And then because this goes up here, that's the different note in the in this melody. I'll go ahead and make this bass note one higher, just to see what it sounds like, just to experiment. This is the type of thinking pattern that you have when you do a melody. And then I'll say, and then you'll start to hear things in your head. So I'll like the way this sounds. Okay, and that's just one way that you could experiment. Now, you know, that kind of sounds like a 90s house melody. So you're like, yo, that's really not that turn Z, you know, show us something we could use. So for people who are trapping, trap melodies are eighth notes, you know, it's just ding 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 ding. Think about the rhythm, right? So have the idea of the rhythm that you want in your head. Like, listen to songs that you like, right? And start analyzing these songs. Start listening to music and picking them apart. So count, like listen to your favorite song. All right, pay attention to how many notes the melody has in a bar. So listen to it, and you'll hear a melody going, you know, do no 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 no, and then start counting it. 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. So you're like, oh, okay. Before every snare, there's 4 notes, right? And then start listening. Is the first note lower than the second note, or is the first note higher than the second note? So, you know, if you're breaking it down like that, and you're like, okay, the first note is higher than the second note, let me start a little higher than the root note of my track. All right, and let's just listen to this. Do I like the way this makes me feel? Okay, that's a little creepy, so I want to go for like a trap vibe. And what do I always tell you? When you find a scale that you're working in, find the notes that find the note combination where there's only one tone in between the two, and that's going to give you that tense, hard feeling. All right, and then switch it up a little bit on this one, but then keep a lot of similar elements. All right, so you see how we just switched this one note? This is how you start to get a complex melody. All right, and now we're gonna take that same idea. All right, so we made this, then we made a minor change to this part. Okay, now you start building it exponentially. So I copied this phrase, and I'm gonna make a minor change to this one. So I'll go like that. Let's see what that sounds like. Another method you can use is by using anchor notes. So say you want your melody to revolve. Say you're just playing and you really like the way that this C note sounds. You're just like, you know what, in the patch I'm using, I love the way this one sounds. I just really love the way that note sounds. I want my melody to anchor around that. So you think of it like you're drawing a kick pattern, right? So if you were drawing like a little trap kick pattern, maybe that's where your kicks would be. And then you could go ahead and click in notes around it, so, and just see what you start to get. And kind of make it like a little what you're doing is you're drawing like a little road to get back to this note here, okay? All right, so that's another method that you could think about, but basically it's just all a matter of just thinking about in terms of up and down. You don't want to jump too high. Like, you don't want to jump when you're making a melody. You don't want to like jump in octave. You can. It's cool in some in some instances, like the starter from the bottom melody does this, but you want to make sure that when you come back, you get close to that first note that you jumped in an octave. Right? And then you could take and duplicate that, and then make a little change. So yeah, man, just remember, keep the shit simple. Think about your rhythm. You don't always have to, you don't always have to make a trap melody. You could start, just by deleting things and, deleting melodies or deleting notes, and just creating a groove where you don't have notes. That's where you're going to create a groove. You feel how this gives you like more of a space to do things. All right, and it's just experimenting, but try to take the mysticism and the whole complication out of it. Just pick a scale, start at a note, go a little bit up, go a little bit down, draw a hill, draw a snake, what I'm saying, just draw little shapes, and eventually what's going to start to happen is you're going to start to, if you do this so much, like if you watch my Secrets of Beat Making video and you take the challenge and you make the beat a day for 2 weeks, you know what I mean, you're gonna start to get conditioned to be able to see what's on the piano roll and hear it without even hearing a VST. I mean, I can, that's a skill that I have now, is I can look at someone's piano roll and know approximately what their melody sounds like, because all we're doing is writing music, the same way that a composer can look at sheet music and know what it sounds like. So hopefully to you beginners out there, this shit just busted your mind open and gave you supreme confidence boosts to go out there, open up the DAW, pick your favorite patch, start writing amazing melodies, and just don't be afraid to experiment, man. So keep it simple, don't be basic. This is Craftmaster Productions of Studio1Tutorials.com, and we will see you on the next one.